Welcome back, my boys and girls. So earlier today, Nintendo dropped a Direct Mini. Kind of unannounced, but everybody had the idea that Nintendo was going to be doing a Direct pretty soon. A lot of leaked lists, a lot of little false rumors and whatnot. So they went ahead and dropped this, a little different take on the way they normally do Directs, but it's pretty cool. They announced a lot of things. This video is just kind of my impressions on that, not necessarily going in depth with these games. But I'll tell you right now, I am fairly disappointed with this list, but at the same time kind of excited. So it's like I'm right in the middle. I'm not jumping up and down screaming like, oh my god. I don't really see anything too surprising here. I see a lot of things that are expected at this moment, but in kind of a good way at the same time, because this Direct Mini is pretty much just, you know, showcasing games that are going to be launched within like the first half year of 2018. You know, a lot of times summer, there's a big drought of games. You really don't get much going on. It's the holiday season come, September, October, November, December. That's when everything starts to hit. But throughout the year, there's always still great stuff that comes out. But usually there's a little bit of a dry spell during the summer. You'll still find some gems here and there. But just to go through this list real quick, and just explain, what's exciting me and what's not. The main thing as we do look through this list is that it's just riddled with ports, which is to be expected at this moment. And like I said, it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. A lot of these games definitely people want to see on the Switch. A lot of these games are really old. There's some new stuff in here as well, so that's kind of cool. Definitely they're going to be saving whatever heavy hitters they got toward the end of the year. So they're going to sprinkle some stuff throughout the year, and I still think it's pretty cool. We'll get games like from Nintendo, you'll get a new Kirby coming up, Kirby Star Allies. That's going to be pretty cool. A different take on Kirby, but kind of maintaining that retro goodness that we know and expect from a Kirby game. With some new how do you say, like gameplay aspects where you can have friends and they can combine their abilities to a new ability. It looked pretty neat, to say the least. Not a game I'm necessarily hyped up for, but I'm definitely going to keep tabs on that and see what to do with that. They also announced some Pokken Tournament DLC, which, the game's been out for a little while. It was released on the Wii U as well. But hey, it's cool that they're still supporting the game and they're going to be releasing some new characters for it. So that's pretty cool. I haven't played it, but maybe one day I'm going to grab it, because the more I see it, the more I become interested in that game. Tell me what you think down below. Have you played Pokken Tournament? Is it a great game? Is it a waste of time? Like, I'm not the hugest Pokemon fan in the world. I do love Pokemon, but I'm not like crazy about it. But I do like fighting games, so chime in down below if it's a game I should check out. Another one that was kind of a surprise, but at the same time it's essentially not really a port, I guess, a reimagining of an older game. The World Ends With You remix, the final remix. So that was released on the DS like nearly 10 years ago. Back then it was kind of on my radar, and I remember buying it, but I couldn't get into the game. I think a lot of DS games I couldn't get into with the touch controls. Some of them I could, though. A lot of games I just want to play with standard controls. And if I remember correctly, I think The World Ends With You, you had to use the touch screen to play it. And that kind of put me off. I just wasn't really into those types of games at the time. But over the years, I kept hearing more and more, this cult following that the game had and how amazing it was. And it was like, man, I really should revisit that one day. I think they did like a cell phone port of it at one point. But I don't play games on my cell phone, so I never bothered checking it out. But I think it might be time. It might be time to revisit that when it's released on the Nintendo Switch. It does look beautiful. There's a lot of new stuff to it, new control options like they say here. So definitely something that's on my radar. Another port, Hyrule Warriors, the ultimate version of Hyrule Warriors. I kind of figured this was going to come out for the Switch. It's just kind of a given. Port all these amazing games that you released on the Wii U on a system that you're going to sell. So the ultimate version of Hyrule Warriors combines like all the specialness between the Wii U and the 3DS version. Combines that, a lot of upgrades, visuals. There's some new characters, some new costumes and whatnot. Some Breath of the Wild costumes. It's looking legit. I've bought the game for the Wii U and I bought it for the 3DS, and I really enjoyed it, but I never had the time to really dig into the game. So I'm actually really excited that this is coming out to the Switch. It's a port. I'm not anti-port, but I don't like seeing non-stop ports. I want to see some new stuff, but I can understand first part of the year we're going to get some ports. And this is a port that I'm definitely excited for. Going to put my pre-order down on that pretty soon here. Another one, Mario Tennis, not a port, new game, but you know, Mario Tennis has been out for a long while. I've never been a huge fan of you know, Nintendo sports games. There's been a couple of them that I really liked, and I remember playing Mario Tennis probably on the 64 or something like that, and they're fun games. You can't go wrong if you just want to, you know, simple, you know, crazy sports game, Nintendo take on a sports game. The Mario sports games are definitely a win. I've passed up on a lot of them. This one seems pretty neat because it's going to have story mode elements to it, whereas the previous versions did not. So that is kind of cool. You're going to have a lot of, you know, you're going to get bang for your buck with this one, essentially. What I really want to see with the Nintendo Sports title is, I can't remember the exact name of it. I should have looked it up. But back on the DS, and it was a touch control game, so, you know, blast me on that. I'm being a hypocrite. Not really, because I did say, you know, there were some games I enjoyed. But Nintendo and Square Enix, I almost said Squaresoft. Square Enix did I think it was 3-on-3 Hoops, the basketball game, with Mario characters, Squaresoft characters, Square Enix characters, Final Fantasy characters, and whatnot. That game was fun. That game was ridiculous fun. I want to see a new version of that. That was a definite awesome team up back in the day. So definitely excited to see what they do with these sports titles, but not the biggest, you know, top of the list type thing for me. Somewhere in the middle. I'll keep an eye on it. I don't know if I'm going to get them or not. Don't know. Do they rent Switch games in Redbox? I'm going to have to find out. Next one, another port. Ys 8. Lacrimosa of Dana. I don't know if I said any of that correctly, but I have played Ys games in the past, and I have enjoyed them. This one looks pretty awesome. I have not followed this game, but it is a port from like a year or two ago from the PS4 and whatnot. So the Switch is finally getting a version of it, you know, this year. So that's kind of cool. I definitely think a game like that's going to sell well and do well. For me, I have to be careful when I'm picking and choosing my role-playing games because I don't have a lot of time to invest. You know, when you're an older guy and you got kids and a family, it's really tough to sit back and relax and play hours and hours of a role-playing game. I got to sneak in time here and there when I'm doing my streams of Mother 3 on the Game Boy Advance. And, you know, I get hell for that. But, you know, I got to be real choosy with these games because what will happen is, and it's happened to me in the past, Final Fantasy 15 came out, I thought I wanted to play it, didn't have the time, kind of got put off by the intro of the game, and just didn't play it. Just didn't play it. I love the demos when they put that out, and, you know, I thoroughly enjoyed the demos, the 2 demos they put out for Final Fantasy 15, and I was like, man, I'm going to dig this game, but I just didn't have the time to appreciate or enjoy it. Which I think they're going to wind up doing a Nintendo Switch port of it, but that chibi style. Pretty sure. Mark my words. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. So I guess point of the story, role-playing games. I'm going to keep an eye on this one, but I don't know if I'm going to grab it or not. It's going to be kind of interesting. It looks nice. I watched the video, and I watched some old videos of the game, and it does look cool. So might be one I grab. I gotta reevaluate my role-playing game life. You know what I'm saying? So next in the news, break out the balloons, free update for Super Mario Odyssey. So this is pretty cool. There's like a balloon kingdom. Once you beat the game and whatnot, you find Luigi. And there's a lot of cool little extras going on. So it's cool that they're giving out a free update to the game that extends the gameplay. You're getting, you know, more value for your money, and it is an awesome game. $60 for Mario Odyssey. You couldn't go wrong. The game is great, and for them to give free updates to it is really cool. I'm glad they didn't say, hey, you know, we're going to do this and it's going to cost you $10 or whatever. You know, Nintendo does that too. You know, they're not guilty. You know, they used to not. When everybody else was doing paid DLC, Nintendo really wasn't. But they've embraced that over the past, you know, between the Wii U to the Switch. So it's nice to see that they're still kind of not sticking to that formula, that they're saying, hey, you know, let's put out a solid game. We don't need to do any DLC for it, but if we do some stuff, we'll just give it to you for free. I appreciate that, Nintendo. Really do. Next one on the list that kind of surprised me, and I'm actually super excited. This is probably one of the top ones for me here, is SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. When I first saw this pop up, I was like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Is this Gals Fighters 2? What? If you remember Gals Fighters, it was on Neo Geo Pocket back in the day. Little, you know, girl fighting game where it was all the female characters from SNK, you know, previous SNK fighters. And it was pretty cool. I love the Neo Geo Pocket color. I love the fighting games, Match of the Millennium, all that stuff. It was awesome. Yeah, you only had 2 buttons, but those games were sick. They were awesome. And I always loved SNK fighters. So to see SNK Heroines and just how beautiful it looks, it's a new game. I've never heard of this before. I don't know if it was previously announced for anything else or what, but I just know that, hey, today they announced it was coming to the Nintendo Switch, and it looks awesome. More fighting games on the Nintendo Switch is definitely a good thing. I'm looking at doing a custom arcade stick for my Nintendo Switch at some point, especially with that, you know, Street Fighter 30th anniversary coming out later this year. Man, so I'm getting that on the Switch. Need to have a solid arcade stick. I still have the 8-bit though. That might be all right, but I think I might want something a little more solid, and I think we're going to be doing a video on that in the near future. So keep an eye out for that. Definitely one of the top games on my list is SNK Heroines. Looks sick, looks legit. Some DLC for Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Never played it, didn't really check it out. I know a lot of people are ranting and raving that the game's really good. But hey, at least they're supporting the game and they're putting out some new characters, I guess. It is what it is. Payday 2. So another port. I know people will be cool, happy that this is coming, and there's going to be a special character that is timed exclusive to Nintendo. Who would have ever thought a timed exclusive for Nintendo as far as characters go? That's crazy. But hey, it's happening. Payday 2, not the type of game I play, so it's not really on my radar. Never was, never played any of the Payday games. I'm sure they're enjoyable, but not for me. Not for me, not my style of game. I'm sure they're great, but hey, I'm passing on that one. Sorry, guys. So a couple new games, Faye and Celeste, both looking pretty sick. New games that are coming out multi-system pretty soon here, I think in a few weeks, so that's definitely cool. And then the last 2 ports of the day. This cool game is back and funkier than ever. So Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze was released on the Wii U. I never played it. You know, I never really played my Wii U much, to be honest. Played a lot of Mario Kart, Mario 3D World and whatnot, but didn't really jump into too much on the system. But this game, it did look cool. A lot of people said it was great and that they're definitely excited that it's coming to the Switch. Not high on my priority list, but definitely going to keep an eye out for it. So the final port, Dark Souls Remastered. So hey, there's already been, what, 3 Dark Souls and some other spin-offs and whatnot. I'm not a huge Dark Souls person. I've played them. I'm not the kind of person who likes to be tortured, so I have not really enjoyed Dark Souls as much as other people have. But with Dark Souls coming to the Switch, a remastered version, we don't really know much about it because they didn't show much about it. Just like, hey dudes, this is coming out, peep it. Pretty cool. Awesome that you're going to have a portable, or you know, you can play it on your TV, so I know a lot of people are going to enjoy that. Just don't break your Joy-Cons, don't break your Switch when you're out and about getting pissed off on the, you know, the subway or the bus or chilling at Starbucks or something. Just be careful out there. So that was pretty much it, what they announced. I'll put a link in the description so you can peep this video. I didn't want to throw any of their videos into this. This is just kind of my thoughts on everything. Don't want to get copyright striked from Nintendo for that. So definitely I'm having a link to their Direct Mini in the description if you want to peep that out. It's about, I think, 14 minutes long. A lot of cool information, a little more information than what's available here. And they also did announce the one thing, and it's another port. It's another port, I know. But Dragon Quest Builders, the demo is up on Nintendo Switch today. The game comes out in about a month, a little less than a month, I believe. I own that on the PS Vita and on the PS4. I've played the heck out of it on the PS Vita. My biggest issue with it, though, is that for the Vita, it was only download only. And I'm going to be doing a video about download versus physical very soon here. But with that game, knowing, okay, the PS4 had, you know, you could buy it. You could buy a physical copy of it. the Vita in the US did not release a physical copy. So I was like, dang it. But in Asia, they did. And it was an English, you know, Asian version. So I imported a copy of Dragon Quest Builders for the Vita, thinking that, hey, maybe I can play this on the Vita, on the PlayStation TV as well, so I can have it in portable or on my TV. Well, my Vita or PlayStation TV doesn't support the game, so I can only play it in handheld mode. But I have played the crap out of it. But I was really hoping to bounce back and forth between the two and playing portable or on the TV, but it just didn't work out for me. I'm sure there's some custom firmware stuff that I can do, but I don't like hacking any of those kind of systems. I just like leaving them the way they are. So my PlayStation TV is on whatever the most recent update is as far as the last time I used it. But I was very disappointed. I was really hoping it would just work out of the box on there. So with the Nintendo Switch port coming, I am very excited. That is actually one of my #1 games coming out this year. Even though it's a port and I've already played the crap out of it. I just really enjoyed it. A cross between Dragon Quest and Minecraft. I've never really played Minecraft. I understand the craze, but Dragon Quest Builders kind of taking that formula and making it its own. And, you know, you building up your village, building up your defenses and stuff like that. It was an awesome game that I'm definitely excited to revisit on the Nintendo Switch, because I could finally jump back and forth, playing portable when I have to, play on the TV when I got time. Super excited for that. So that's it. Link in the description if you want to peep out the Direct Mini. Smash that like button if you could. Really would appreciate it. Subscribe if you have not done so already. And I will catch you guys next time. Boom! Peace out! Thank you.